The Rose Bowl ready
Rosy
to
red.
roll. Ohio State and Oregon, the rematch that everyone has been waiting for between these two Big Ten behemoths. Ohio State, the 2.5-point favorites after losing the first one in the end of the game. Total 54.5. Ryan, Ohio State, obviously big win last week against Tennessee.
Huge.
Yeah. They're now favored. Do you think they deserve to be favored against Oregon? Vegas looks like they're trying to tell you something here, but you lost the last one.
No, we should not be favored in my opinion. I think it's really recency bias after we just blew out Tennessee. And Oregon, in their first game we played them, people think we barely beat them, slimmed out, a couple bad things go our way. They still won the game. They still put up the points to win the game. They humiliated our defense. And their defense played well enough to win the game, obviously. And also they were missing a couple key players in that game. They're missing one of their best defensive linemen, and they're also missing a wide receiver, which they're getting back this week. So, I'm not comfortable with this spread. I like it because it's obviously saying something. You know what I mean? We looked at dominant. I think it's just because of the performance we put on. They're expecting us to put that on again. And if we do, I don't think there's a chance Oregon wins. There's something. That team I watched against Tennessee, if it is just that or somewhere in that zone, is impossible to beat. If we're throwing the ball like that, using our wide receivers, using our first rounders, our defense is flying over the field, it'll be crazy. The coolest part about that game against Tennessee, we had a formation which was a four defensive people up front, 2 linebackers, and then corner, one safety back. Every single play we did the same exact formation. We didn't change anything because they couldn't beat us. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. We didn't get to show anything that game. We didn't show any crazy blitzes. We didn't do anything special. We played the same defensive formation from snap to finish the game. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, and I'm excited because we got to hold everything back. We're going to be showing a lot of different blitzes, formations against Dylan Gabriel because if you don't, you're going to get kicked like last game. I think our defensive ends, JT and Jack Sawyer, are really going to play a big spot in this game.
Jack Sawyer's a psychopath.
No, he's actually, and I love that. No, I love psychopaths. Yeah. And I think the reason why last game our cornerbacks got so cooked is Dylan Gabriel had all the time in the world and was just dicing us up. When he's getting pressured and touched, I think it'll be a way different game, and I think our defense is going to go crazy this game. I think Will Howard is going to have his do-rag game of the year this week.
Do-rag game?
Yes, he's officially wearing a do-rag for the playoffs now, which I love. Do-rag WH is crazy. But, I think he's going to be unbelievable. No, he's crazy.
WH?
No, he's going to be unbelievable. I think they changed the script, the offensive coordinators, we're throwing to Jeremiah Smith no matter what the scenario, and he's going to figure it out. It works like a charm every time you do it. Do it this week. I see Ohio State covering easy. Oregon comes back at the end. We get the job done, though.
Wow. So what a game this is going to be.
Huge game.
What game?
Sunny Los Angeles. Weather no longer an issue.
Nope.
Much closer to Oregon,
home
but
field
Ohio
advantage.
State fans are everywhere. I think it'll probably be a pretty good split in the Rose Bowl. There's a couple storylines that people aren't talking about that I just want to bring to light here. The biggest storyline is Chip Kelly's return to the Rose Bowl, a place where he was notoriously awful. And this is not being stressed enough. On top of the coaching dilemma that Ohio State now has, the fans, everyone was saying Ryan Day to be fired. But the biggest headline this week has been Kirk Herbstreit calling everyone who's saying they should fire Ryan Day an idiot, regardless of what happens in the Oregon game, and you don't know football if not, and they're not really connected with the program. It feels to me like Ryan Day's job is secured no matter what happens in this game.
Oof,
and
that's bad.
There's a lot, I don't know. I love what I saw from Ohio State. Don't get me wrong, but I actually agree with Ryan. There's a lot being overstated about this Ohio State win. Tennessee only had one ranked win going into the playoffs. Then Ohio State played a literal 0-degree home playoff game against a freshman quarterback and blew him out. So there's a lot more to that than just a dome neutral site game or a Rose Bowl game in LA. There's a lot going into it, and Oregon's much better than Tennessee. I'll be honest, I genuinely want Ohio State to win this game. I want Texas to play Ohio State because I think that would bring everything to this podcast that we want, content-wise, game-wise. I think it'd be a really fun game. But I don't think we get it. I think Oregon wins. I'm taking Oregon plus 2.5. 1 unit, small play, nothing huge. I just need to see Ohio State do it in a neutral site. Everything I didn't like about Ryan Day was his performance in playoff games. And granted, the game against Tennessee was a playoff game, but we'd never seen home playoff games before. It's different. And an end of end of December. The Ohio State's never hosted a playoff game or a home game this late in the year.
Yep.
That is a huge advantage. Like, let me see you play a team you lost to already that hasn't lost a game in a neutral site in a spot that might be for your job. Like, I need to see a Ryan Day do what he did against Tennessee against Oregon. If he does that, Ohio State wins the national championship. I haven't seen it yet, though, and they're making me lay 2.5 on it. Ohio State can still win if I get the 2.5 with Oregon. I cannot see a world where I can lay this number with Ohio State and be semi-confident. So I'm going Oregon plus 2.5, and I do think they win outright.
Wow.
Yeah. Unlike my predecessor here, I cannot agree with you. I think Ohio State wins this game, and I think they cover. The reason why is because if you watched our previous video about if Oregon is a national contender, my whole thing is I think Oregon has been
Lucky.
not lucky. They're not lucky.
Better
but
be
they
lucky
have
than
been,
good, is what you're
but
saying.
they have been playing to their maximum potential or their maximum capabilities, and I just don't think that it's possible for a team to keep that up continuously, big game after big game after big game. Like you just
It's happened.
That's just not this team though. I'm just
saying
maybe
this
I'm
team might be
proving-
different, but when you say I don't think it's possible to keep that up, it's happened like 3 of the last 5 years.
But it's also kind of similar to what Mario said. It's like when teams were really dominant, like his LSU team, it's like, they just looked like they were coasting through, like certain things were easier while they were winning. Whereas Oregon seems like they're really like toughing out games that they really shouldn't be doing it. I just can't see them continuing that streak of good fortune.
Luck. Just say it. You think Oregon's lucky.
Good fortune. And I think Ryan Day pulls it out here with Ohio State.
Bang.
All right. Ohio State, Oregon, Ohio State.
Ooh, man. First, I want to say the winner of this game, in my mind, will win the national championship.
I believe that as well.
I love that. 50% chance of winning. So, very important game, very telling game. It's going to be a great game. You've never seen a game like this.
Yeah, I feel the
Best
same.
game.
I think I know where you're going.
No, in all seriousness, though, this is a really, really tough game because based off of last performance, and I do agree with Ryan, I think that's why Ohio State's favored because of that performance against Tennessee. Listen, if Ohio State can look like that, they're gonna win the Natty.
Yes.
The thing about last game was, we've talked about the advantages Ohio State had being home, the weather, Nico, which I think Ryan alluded to, like Ohio State's defense never had to change. I think part of that was just they didn't really fear the quarterback as much.
And the injuries Ryan brought up on Tuesday.
This game's going to be way different. They can't just sit in one defensive formation. Dylan Gabriel will literally pick them apart.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But I think the biggest takeaway from that last game for me was that was my first real time all year I've seen Ohio State play free and safe. Ryan Day didn't try to, manufacture a win. He just let his players be his players.
Yeah.
Crazy. And you see the potential, which I think everyone for years has always seen with these Ohio State teams. It's just always been hindered. I equate it to fighting with arm tied behind your back. I think we see a little bit of that this game. I think last game Ryan Day really had nothing to lose. This was kind of all or nothing for him. This is like a little bit more comfortable of a spot where, like, if you lose to Oregon, it's not really that big of a deal. He's going to try to coach up something. I just think whenever they have to think too much, I don't like that in favor of Ohio State. So I'm going to take Oregon plus the 2.5. I don't know. This is just a weird gut feel for me. I want Ohio State to win.
Same.
You guys do know I'm never wrong when I bet on my team, right? Like, whenever I tell you what to bet.
Dude, I
it's
hope you're right.
every single
I
time.
said I'm putting 1 unit on. It's a small bet, and I actually genuinely want Ohio State and Texas to win. I'm with you. I have the same gut feeling you have. Where I'm like,
if I lose $10, I could care less. Like, I'm literally gonna put 1 unit. I do not care what happens to it. I'm just gonna watch this game pretty much as a fan.
same.
The bet is just like a principal bet.
Same here.
It's not for anything. I'm not trying to gain anything off the bet. I'm watching this as a fan because, like I said, I think the winner of this game is gonna win the Natty.
Great teams.
Yeah. Gut feel for me, it's just one of those games where sometimes like years are like that where this team you just can't get past them. I don't know, just something
in my mind. No matter what happens, it could be a weird game or blowout, but Oregon just somehow wins.
I also think 2.5 isn't not like insignificant. Like there's a world I think Oregon covers and Ohio State wins still.
Yeah, it goes
went by
over
one.
2.5
or something.
Or you just take a look at the last game.
yeah,
For
exactly.
example, what was it? A 1-point win for Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State does what they're supposed to do and kicks a field goal to win. This spread covers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
you're
that's
right.
I'm kind of in that same boat where
Yeah.
I just strictly on the spread. This feels big for a spot they already lost.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. But I don't know if you
fair.
want to close it out with anything.
Yep. Any
Good
final
wishes.
thoughts, Ryan?
Good wishes to Ryan Day, your coach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can do this again if you want. We've had
Do
a
it
lot
again.
Of,
You did it. It
geez.
worked last time.
we've had a lot of these all year. I've led you into the promised land every single time. You just got to listen to me. You're
Whoa.
welcome for your family and everything.
Jeez.
Family game.
Yeah, no, I assessed his family. I made sure they were okay last time because
Yeah.
I said a lot
Whoa.
of things.
Is Ryan part of this like crazy fringe?
The
Ohio
fringe.
State?
The radical
That's what they
fringe.
think.
The fringe.
They think
The
I'm part
radical
of it, but
fringe.
I'm just a truth sayer for my
Radical
team.
Ryan.
I'm very truthful for this team.
Radical Ryan.
Yep. Double R, baby. But all I think is that Ryan Day, let your players play. Let Will Howard cook. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks remaining in this playoffs when he's throwing the ball, getting hot, and you're not just run the ball. You win this game easily. There should be no sweat. We lost 1 point in Eugene. This should be an easy win, wire to wire. Love this team. Ryan Day keeps his job.
There you go.
There you go.
Let us know
go.
what you think. Is it SCO Ducks or is it Ryan Day to the
OH?
Promised Land? OH.